Hi everyone, this is Yana Smakula for SimonsStamp.com, and thank you for joining me today. Simple shape stamps are always among my all-time favorite because they allow me to stamp so much more than just a simple circle or oval or a square. I see simple shapes as building blocks, little bits and pieces I can use to create something entirely new and different. Today I wanted to show you how you can use circles and ovals from the Squirrel Flowers stamp set from Simon to create funny Doodle Valentine's Day cards. Here's a quick look at the stamp set. There are a number of Doodle-style circles in a few sizes and also some ovals. Each image has an outline and a solid coordinating stamp. I love sets like this one as they are very versatile. They allow you to fill the shape with color using a solid image and an ink pad, or using any other coloring medium such as a marker or a pencil and just an outline shape. I also love them because they're great for those who don't like to color or who are afraid to try their hand coloring. Now this set, according to its name, is a great one for creating flowers. And it really is. I recently used it on my blog to stamp a beautiful, bold floral background. You can see that card on the screen right now. Here I have a few yellow and pink circles and some blank ovals stamped and cut out using coordinating dies from the Scribble Flower set. Let me quickly arrange them into fun and playful flowers. So I'm adding smaller circles on top of bigger ones to add additional layers, and then adding some ovals which look like leaves here. Pretty cool, right? You also have some stems that you can stamp in addition to those images to have your flowers on a stem. But what if we tried to arrange those elements in a slightly different way? Can we have another image? After all, these are just simple circles and ovals, so we should be able to use these however we like. Remember the times when all we had was some circle punches and we would alter the punched out circles to create other shapes? Well, this is a little bit like that in a way. So I also stamped and die-cut double circles. The tiny little ones I have at the top here, and I'm going to use those as eyes. Yes, eyes for a critter. So I'm starting with the largest circle. That's going to be a body of my critter. Next, I'm going to use the leaves, and I'm placing them so they look like hands or wings on a bird. I'm going to add the eyes at the top of the body, and just like that, I easily have a shape that resembles a bird, and a funny-looking bird too. I looked through my stash, and I found some additional images I could use to dress up my bird. I stamped and die-cut a party hat and a bow tie from the Cuddly Critter Accessories stamp set. Let's make two more birds that are looking at each other as if they're about to kiss. Again, I'm using the same shapes and simply dressing them up using bits and pieces from other stamp sets. Pretty cool, right? Now, what do you say we use these images to create some doodly Valentine's Day cards? I'm going to quickly walk you through the creative process, and we'll show you how you can stamp super quick, almost one-layer Valentine's Day cards using this idea. Now, these don't have to be for Valentine's Day specifically. You can turn these into birthday or miss you cards or anything else by simply using a sentiment that best works for you. I'm starting by stamping the largest circle in Simon's Intense Black ink onto an A2 top folding card base. I'm going to add the bird's feet, and we'll also stamp the wings. Now, these wings can also be stamped onto another piece of paper, cut out and foam mounted on top of the bird's body for a pop of dimension, or simply to introduce another color. Next, I'm adding eyes using that two-circle stamp, and lastly, I'm adding a beak using a tiny triangle image from the Cone Building stamp set. I'm also going to use a little confetti stamp from the same set to add some texture at the top of the bird's head to make it look like hair. This little guy is also going to hold a bouquet of flowers, so I'm using a stem image and stamping several, making it look like he's holding them. Next, I'm stamping the three circles at the end of the stems to look like little flowers. And here I'm just adding that third stem to complete my bouquet. To add some personality to this card, I'm stamping a boat shape in Simon's Duckling ink, and I'm going to add "You Float My Boat" sentiment. And now it's time to color these images. I'm using Hollyhock and Duckling ink colors from Simon, and also coordinating solid shape stamps and simply adding color to my stamped circles. I also added pink to the wings, and I actually didn't quite like how it looked, so I decided to die-cut those out of white paper, adhere on top, and keep them white. I also die-cut the eyes, a bow tie, and a party hat, and adhered all of these using glue. Usually I use foam adhesive for my little pieces, but I wanted to keep these cards as flat as possible, so I went with glue. You can choose to color the bow tie and the party hat using markers or any other coloring medium, but I wanted to keep mine white. I used the same principle and stamped another card where the two birds are facing each other and added a fabulous sentiment from the Forever After stamp set. I used a black pen to add little black dots inside the eyes to complete them. One last thing I did, I added dimension to the eyes. Usually I like to use glossy accents, but this time I went with Nuvo drops in Morning Dew and added a thick coat to each eyeball. Nuvo drops dry much more dimensional, but a bit less glossy, and I think they add fabulous details to the eyes. I left mine overnight to dry. If you're not into one-layer projects, I also implemented the same design using a few additional layers. I used Simon's Schoolhouse red cardstock as a background panel. I did some of my stamping there, and then foam mounted all the bits and pieces on top to add a lot of dimension. Here's a closer look at the second set of cards I made. I had so much fun stamping these images and using these simple shapes to create new critters. Join me and stamp a few of your own. You never know what kind of critter you'll be able to make. Have fun stamping. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope I was able to inspire you to create. Be sure to give this idea a try and do tag us on social media so we can take a peek at your projects. You can find the list of supplies I used for this project down below. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet done so. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time. Bye!